So I'm a pretty big fan of the Double O Quanta. I mean, you might have guessed with that symbol on the back here that I like me Double O. And this is the real grade. Never been a big fan of the high grade when it first came out back in 2010. It had issues, and as soon as this one came out, it went straight into a box. I'm never going to throw it out, but I just put it away because this is far superior. But then they decided to do something else, and they gave us the Shia Quanta from the Build Fighters Island Wars, taking that same high grade mold, which I didn't like, changing it up, giving it cat ears, because why the hell not, and I like it. And the same thing happened when they just released the Command Quanta. So basically taking the Double O Quanta and the SD Command Gundam, which is a cool Gundam in its own right, like the BB Legend one I really like. And this thing looks completely different. There are quite a few pieces that are being used from the original Double O Quanta high grade, like the limbs, some of the torso, and a few other things. But a lot of it is new, and it looks great. I really love the design. The head is... Damn, that head is just... It's super bulky now. It just has a beef to it. Like, the Double O Quanta is all about, like, slender, agility, not so much, like, you think of it... It does have a hell of a lot of firepower, but you don't think of it as much. It's more, I think, of, like... At least in the movie, it was really good at dodging. But this is just those, like, it reminds me of the Virtue Physical, if you know about that. It's just a ground version of the Virtue using physical weapons instead of beams. And this seems like a good version for the Quanta. I don't know if these fire beams or not. It looks like the Double O equivalent of a high mega particle cannon. But love the yellow condensers with the metallic yellow stickers underneath to give it that nice shine, like with the eyes. The little sensors here for stickers. You got the separate color for the missile pod and the shoulders. I think it retains all the articulation from the original. Once again, 12-year-old kit, but Double O is really where the Gunpla started to shine in terms of its posability. And the Double O Quanta is no exception. And the missile pod here has a couple hinges. A little worried about how it's pegged in with these polycaps, with these exposed parts that it'll work its way off eventually. Not a huge deal so far. And the other weapons are pretty neat. This one is just taking the shield that was on the back of the Double O Quanta and just giving it a hand-mounted shield, which also has, I think this is just a cannon, but it's very reminiscent of the Age 1 Dodge rifle, at least the end of the barrel. That's what I'm feeling. And then on the sides here where they would have the the sword bits, now it actually has combat knives, and don't have to take the hand cover off. I always like that. It's just such a pain in the butt to have to do that all the time. So yeah, the blades are from the Quanta, but these handlebars are completely new. One thing I don't like is that you can't have both in each hand and still have hold the gun shield, which I kind of wish you could like have it pegged into the arm and still have the hand free. But okay, small sacrifice. Get you out of here. We also have a new gun, which is pretty cool. It has a big blade actually feeding all the way through here, but you just see the end for the bayonet. And another simple peg, and that's it. I also like the sword. The sword's a little different. I thought it'd be like sideways, but it's actually pegs the handle in there straight down. Sure, it's different. It doesn't take up a whole bunch of real estate in the back, so it's not that bad. And then we have the broadsword, I guess we can call it. I'm sure it has a specific name. It takes the blade from the Quanta, which it's this weird gummy material now. I don't know. I don't think it's gonna be a problem. But it's less chance of breaking than the clear blade. That's for certain. Just peg onto the side here. I don't know if this is like a ray dome or something. I would assume. Or just to look cool. And it also just goes right into the hand. I love that. And then the hand cover comes off. But I do love it when you don't have to take off these hand covers. It's just... At this point in the stage of Gunpla, I feel that's something we can get away from. but sometimes you can't. And that's fine. But, this thing looks so good. I really love it. And you, oops. You can just have everything stored if you really want. You don't have to have anything in the hand. Well, aside from the shield, you kind of have to have that in the hand. Yeah, just peg everything in there. It's just such a good idea. I never in my wildest dreams would have expected this for a model. Like taking something as I said, slender as the Double Quanta, and he lost his shoulder armor, and making it something that looks like it could be more like the heavy arms. So yeah, it's such a good idea. Bandai, sometimes you impress me.